An old lady's BFF casually ruined a scammer's entire life. My elderly neighbor, Mrs. Wilson, was basically family. She'd been part of our lives for years. Holiday dinners, watching my kids grow up, the whole deal. Then her dirtbag nephew moved in. Within months, he convinced her to loan him $7,000 from her fixed income. Then he disappeared. She was too ashamed to tell anyone, so I helped her file small claims court paperwork. But when our court date came, Mrs. Wilson was terrified. At 82, she'd never been inside a courthouse. When the judge questioned her, she barely remembered the details. Her hands were shaking so bad she couldn't even hold her glasses. And the nephew didn't even show up. I could tell the judge was about to dismiss the case for lack of evidence. Then, out of nowhere, Mrs. Wilson's BFF quietly walked over and whispered something to the judge. His entire face changed. He called for a 15-minute recess, and when we came back, the BFF was sitting beside Mrs. Wilson. Turns out, dirtbag nephew had scammed 3 other elderly residents in her building, including the BFF's own grandmother. The judge ruled in Mrs. Wilson's favor and issued a warrant for the nephew's arrest. 2 weeks later, I got a call. They caught him trying the same scam in another county. Back in court, Mrs. Wilson's BFF was there again, tissues ready, hand on her shoulder, looking like she just completed a side quest in a revenge movie. What a legend.